Hello and welcome to Midday Report here on TVP World. My name's Anna Kalczyńska. One of the Czech Republic's biggest parties is losing its leader. Prime Minister Petr Fiala has announced he will not seek re-election as head of the Civic Democrats following his coalition's defeat in last weekend's vote. As Andrej Babiš works to form a new government with the far-right SPD and Motorists movement, the country's political map and its parliament are being redrawn.
The Czech political stage is shifting. After the ruling coalition's defeat, Prime Minister Petr Fiala announced he will step down as leader of the Civic Democrats, signaling the end of an era for the centre-right Spolu alliance. His party is heading into opposition.
At the beginning of the Executive Council, I informed the members of my decision to convene the Civic Democratic Party Congress on January 17th and 18th, as well as my decision not to run for the position of chairman again.
Meanwhile, the power puzzle is being rearranged. Czech President Petr Pavel has confirmed that coalition talks are underway, a three-party deal between ANO, SPD and the Motorists. But as Pavel underlines, the process must not be rushed.
We also agreed that there should be no rush to complete the process, so that political parties have sufficient time to discuss all possible scenarios, agree on policy platforms, reach consensus, and decide on the composition of both the Chamber of Deputies and the possible new government. And that, of course, takes time.
But Babiš appears eager to move fast, urging his potential coalition partners on Wednesday on his social media not to comment on the ongoing talks until they reach an agreement.
Because when they do, journalists start trying to negotiate instead. I'm not going to negotiate with journalists. Once we're done, I'll go see the president, and I hope that will happen by Friday.
For Babiš, joining forces with the far-right SPD and the anti-established Motorists may actually prove convenient. Analysts say it could help him bypass earlier tensions with the president, especially over controversial ministerial nominees.
I think this would, in a way, give him a little bit more legitimacy, as he would not have to openly nominate some of these members to the ministerial positions, as I think already President Pavel indicated that he may have some difficulty appointing some of these people to ministerial positions.
And while the political balance shifts, the country is experiencing another historical first. 67 women have been elected to the new Chamber of Deputies, the highest number in the Czech history. Preferential voting gave many of them a boost, especially in the Pirate Party and among the mayors and independents. The new parliament will convene on November 3rd. A changing of the guard and a new chapter in Czech politics.
Recent drone incidents and other airspace violations show Europe is facing hybrid warfare to which it must respond with measures that go beyond traditional defense, said European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen on Wednesday.
This is not random harassment. It is a coherent and escalating campaign to unsettle our citizens, test our resolve, divide our union, and weaken our support for Ukraine. And it is time to call it by its name. This is hybrid warfare. New technologies, born in the defense sectors, bringing new applications for civilian industries, whether it is from cybersecurity tools to, for example, advanced materials for shipbuilding and aerospace. Our new defense investment can and it must contribute to Europe's competitiveness. It must be based in our union, and that's why at least 65% of any project funded under SAFE must be here from the European Union. This is European money, and we want to see a return on investment of this European money in jobs here in Europe.
The Latvian Ministry of Defense announced Tuesday evening that the ban on nighttime drone flights along the country's borders with Russia and Belarus will remain in effect until further notice. Defense Minister Andrej Babiš stated that any future decisions regarding the ban will be linked to the planning of NATO's Eastern Sentry operation.
Latvia's decision to extend the ban on night drone flights along its borders was made on the heels of recent airspace violation incidents in NATO countries. It was additionally influenced by the ongoing Latvian Army's drone combat simulations held as part of NATO's Eastern Sentry operation. The mission is planned and coordinated with other countries of the alliance's eastern flank and aims to strengthen airspace surveillance. At the same time, the Latvian Defence Minister said that the country will lift the ban only after consultations with NATO and neighbouring Estonia and Lithuania.
On Tuesday, Kosovo's Prime Minister Albin Kurti accused Serbia of interfering in the country's upcoming municipal elections. According to Kurti, Serbia's actions in Kosovo are even more significant than Russia's interference in Europe. His comments come after Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić promised 400 jobs and social benefits for Serbs living in Kosovo.
Promises of jobs, inducement through financial support, conditioning and blackmail with social benefits, and statements by Serbian state officials that only the Serb list defends Serbia in Kosovo are repeated examples of Serbia's interference in Kosovo's electoral process. The European Union Election Observation Mission in the parliamentary elections of February 9th, 2025 documented Serbia's interference in our elections. This interference that Serbia is carrying out in Kosovo's elections is even more serious than that of Russia in Europe.
A handful of European countries can now reap the benefits of closer ties with the European Union in the form of a lower banking transfer fees. Albania, Moldova, Montenegro and North Macedonia have become operational members of the single euro payments area, an architecture that simplifies transfers in euros.
This is Albania, a country on its way to the EU. A process that involves many steps, one of which has just been taken.
Albanian citizens and companies can now make transfers in euros to EU member states with much smaller commissions than before and on the same terms as citizens and companies in the EU.
The Albanian Central Bank predicts that this step alone will allow savings for up to 20 million euros for businesses and individuals alone. Along with Albania, Moldova, Montenegro and North Macedonia also became operational members of SEPA, with Serbia joining the framework in May, but still making technical adjustments.
All Montenegrin citizens and our banks were ready this morning for the entry into SEPA and implemented their operational systems in order for citizens to make their planned transaction for today without problems. In the previous period, you planned your transaction for today, tomorrow or in 2 days. Now SEPA allows you to pay your obligations in real time.
With the addition of Western Balkan states, SEPA has now 41 members.
The government in Lisbon has called on 4 Portuguese nationals who sailed with the global Sumund flotilla to reimburse the cost of bringing them back home from Israel. The Polish foreign minister raised a similar issue 2 weeks ago regarding who should cover the travel costs for the Polish MP who was among those detained by Israeli authorities.
On Tuesday evening, the Polish Foreign Ministry confirmed that 4 participants had been asked to pay the cost of plane tickets from Israel to Portugal. The ministry did not specify the amount, but according to media reports, the Foreign Ministry covered the cost of 4 tickets from Tel Aviv to Lisbon with a stopover in Madrid. Similarly, 2 weeks ago, Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski asked on social media who should bear the costs of bringing Polish MP Franciszek Sterczewski back home. As stated by Sikorski, Sterczewski, and along with every Polish citizen, has been repeatedly warned about travelling to an active war zone. A similar question about the travel cost was posed by Polish President Karol Nawrocki.
UNESCO has labeled the Vlola Valley in Albania as one of the 26 newly designated biosphere reserves as part of the initiative to safeguard some of the planet's richest ecosystems. There are concerns, though, that not enough is being done to protect the fragile river habitat.
A mountain of waste picked over by birds and dogs piled on the banks of the Vjosa River, Albania's newly named natural treasure. As the wind blows scraps of plastic into the water, locals say little's being done to protect what was once a piece of paradise.
The Vjosa River is polluted by sewage water. It's a pity. Times when children would go for a swim in the river are long gone and forgotten. You cannot swim in this river anymore because 4 cities dump all of their sewage into the Vjosa.
Last month, UNESCO identified the valley as one of 26 newly designated biosphere reserves. It's part of an initiative to safeguard some of the planet's richest and most fragile ecosystems. There are also concerns about plans to divert water to a large-scale tourism construction project on the coast.
This project has been opposed by local communities and activists because it's risking to take the main source of life, not only for fish and for biodiversity, but also for more than 30 villages that live and rely on the water of the river.
The UNESCO designation is a boon for Albania, which has seen tourism to its coastline and mountains rocket in recent years. If development and exploitation go unchecked, though, there are risks that this fragile ecosystem could be lost forever.
The second stage of the 19th International Frédéric Chopin Piano Competition will begin in Warsaw on Thursday. 4 Polish pianists have advanced to the round. They will face 36 other musicians from around the world.
The Chopin competition, the world's most prestigious piano contest, began with 84 participants who traveled to Warsaw from 18 countries. Over half of the participants have been eliminated in the first round of the competition. Piotr Pawlak, seen here, is among 4 Poles still in the running. China leads the group with 15 pianists qualifying for the next round, underscoring the country's growing influence in the classical music sphere. We asked an expert to weigh in on the chances Polish pianists have to win the competition.
Piotr Aleksiewicz has participated 4 years ago, and he was in the semi-finals, and now he's back. He has made a very convincing first round, and so that's the first name to mention, a very good musician and an excellent pianist. And another is Yehuda Prokopowicz, who is very, very young and has produced a wonderful performance yesterday. So I would bet on these 2 from out of 4.
The prestigious competition can only have one winner.
We have a strong field of contenders who will certainly make the next 3 rounds very, very interesting.
And the second stage of the Chopin competition will end this Sunday. And only some 20 players will remain to fight for the title of the top Chopin interpreter, a €60,000 prize, and a gold medal.
A new addition to the Berlin Zoo has made its debut. A baby hippo, born on September 28th, has been filmed inside his enclosure. The calf is still quite small and spends lots of time with its mum.
The first step is always the trickiest, but this little one seems to have that mastered already. Now he has to focus on gaining weight and growing, as he is one of 2 calves born to Nala last month. The still unnamed baby is one half of twins. His sibling died shortly after birth, and this little one is still not out of the woods yet. Weighing around 28 kilograms, it was remarkably light at birth. Newborn hippos typically weigh around 40 kilograms. The most important thing now is how confident it is in the water and how easily it can keep up with mom. No need to worry about it not knowing how to swim yet. No hippo can do so immediately after birth.
Slowly by slowly, and who would have thought it's one of the most dangerous animals on the planet. Thank you so much for being with us here on Midday Report, and please stay with us. in TVP World. See you soon.